Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex. Today we're taking a look at Mosaic Chronicles Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch. This one, it's the latest release from Red Deer Games. They were kind enough to sponsor today's video, and they asked me to tell you all about this fantasy puzzle experience. So with that, hit subscribe if you do enjoy the video, and let's get started. Mosaic Chronicles has over 50 puzzles to work your way through, but each is a small part of this, advancing a tale of heroes and adventure, based upon the works of older Gromik. Apologies for the pronunciation, I'm sure I butchered that, but here we have two stories to choose from, a bit of horoscoping as well as a second that is a lucky knot. Knot is by far the longest, with well over 30 of the 50 contained mosaics to solve, and the stories: one, we are the hero out to save a princess, the other, we are rescuing a mage. It's ticking all of the fantasy boxes: adventure, battles, mistakes and love, and each puzzle reveals a new page in the storybook. The gameplay is relatively simple in idea, but if there's one thing I learned from putting this video together, it is that I turns out suck at mosaic puzzles. It's surprisingly challenging putting it all together as you work through a large selection of pieces, just figuring out what is this picture in front of you. Now, for those concerned about challenge, we do get 4 difficulties, so it's definitely good for everyone. If you drop all the way to very easy, you'll even get an outline of the image that you are placing the pieces onto. It's definitely not a game that's trying to stand in your way of advancing, and that's clear from the fact it even has a hint functionality. You can tap a trigger, it highlights a piece, shows you the general location where you would place it, and then placing those pieces is extremely easy as well. Once you're in the general direction, it will automatically slot into place. Down the left of the screen, that is where you will find your piece selection, and one tip I would give you is they are naturally small here, but do not let that deceive you. They can be quite a bit bigger once you bring them into place, so sometimes it's definitely going to be worth shuffling it across and just taking a look. Make a mistake as well, it is not a concern. The left trigger will clear up any misplaced pieces to keep the image in the open area clear of obstruction. These pieces as well, they will change by difficulty. On very easy, they are exactly positioned as you would expect. The further you dial up the difficulty, the more pieces will be rotated, and that adds a whole new challenge. Basically, you can rotate them in 90-degree increments. I personally enjoyed playing on normal. A few pieces are rotated, there's no background image, but I was leveraging the hint system, and I was also previewing the final image from the pause menu. Now, that won't be for everyone, it almost ruins your kind of reward, I guess, but I really like that ability that I can kind of just take a look, get an idea of where I may need to head next. That said though, if you decide to head into the hardest setting, that ability completely removed. Also less starting pieces on the board, so you really have very little to go on. I actually thought going in I was going to breeze through this game, and then I spent 30 minutes on the first mosaic alone, trying to limit my clue use, so yeah, it was definitely far from the case. And there's a lot of game in here for your cash, with over 50 to complete. There's also a gallery for those mosaics that you do unlock as well from the main menu. This is a nice touch as it adds this ability to revisit the entire story without the gameplay in between. Well, they have done a good job then of optimizing drag and drop controls duct. I had no issues at all. It's the way I played to capture the footage today. It doesn't come close to the experience with the included touchscreen options. It's just the perfect game for handheld play. You know, it's relaxed. It's something I'd play, or there's something on in the background as, you know, I'm trying to wind down at the end of the day. Here though, everything becomes touchscreen that you can see. The menu, the hint buttons at the top of the screen, the cleanup, a simple tap, and then the pieces, it's going to be a drag and drop system. You can then rotate them in the upper right of the screen. You can do that while they're still on the left side of the screen, or even when they're on the board directly. Yes, again, the video is sponsored, but I loved the contained artwork. I think they've done a great job of bringing these story beats together with some really intricate mosaic designs. It's an overlooked art style, and it plays perfectly into the size of the Switch screen in handheld. I was playing on an OLED, and the colours, they did not disappoint. The puzzles and the artwork though, it is definitely challenging with some of the pieces and their shapes, but when they do click into place, you know it's been built correctly because it never feels unfair. The story then, these are single screen text breaks between puzzles, and the menus are simple and easy to use as well. The music was not what I expected. It's classical. I thought it was going to be a very chill soundtrack, but it's actually often quite upbeat. It can even get a little high intensity at moments, but it's got this air of almost electronic as well at times, which is always a good thing. It kind of gives me this sense of, there was an artist called Maxim Mafika, which I know I'm definitely pronouncing wrong, but he's a pianist I stumbled on years back now. He did a Flight of the Bumblebee rendition, which is considered, I guess, classical crossover, and that is very much the vibe I'm getting with the music in this one. The sound effects then, just the simple clicks to let you know that you've selected an option, picked up and placed the piece, you know, of course, all of the different menu options. Mosaic Chronicles Deluxe is on sale right now for a massive 84% off, or your regional equivalent. It is available in all regions, and the sale it runs through until March 9th in the US and Canada, and then March 19th for those in the UK, EU and Australia. If you do want to pick it up, I put a link in the pinned comment down below, and that supports the channel and Red Deer directly, so it is seriously appreciated. Go and take a look at the eShop page to see if this is going to be one for you. Mosaic Chronicles Deluxe is going to be one that puzzle fans find a lot to like, and if the idea of piecing these images together appeals as well, there's just a ton of content in here with your cash. You know, as I said, I turn to these sort of experiences when I'm looking to wind down at the end of the day, and I'm confident in saying this will be making its way into my puzzle rotation. It's just a simplistic idea that's been executed well, and the ability to use touchscreen that is always appreciated. The different difficulty options then means it's got an option for everyone, and I will say do not underestimate it. I thought it was going to be easy jumping in, and as I said, it had me sucked in for some 30 minutes alone trying to overcome the first puzzle. It took me forever to realise I should be working around the edge of the image first and moving my way inwards. Puzzle fans though, will you be taking a look? I'm going to be leaving you today with one of the trailers so you can get an overall idea of everything that's ahead in Mosaic Chronicles Deluxe. Again then, a thank you to Red Deer for sponsoring the video, and with that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.